Well, welcome to the recording for the Black and White Photography Unit. And Black and White Photography Unit is part of Week 5. And as you know, Week 5 is the final week of the course. And just to remind you, 595 to pass with a D, 695 to get you to a C, 795 is the lowest for a B. And finally, you can get an A if you get up to 895 points. A few things to think about. If you get crunched for time towards the end of Week 5, make sure you do all the exams, even if you have to guess on them. Getting a few points is better than getting no points, right? You will not be able to resubmit any work after October 9th. The last day of the course is October 11th, and after October 9th, I'm not going to have time to regrade things. So if you want anything if you want to turn something in that maybe you can get a chance to revise it, submit it before midnight October 9th. Do not ask for extra credit. Do the required work and you'll earn the grade that you deserve. No extra credit. Finally, this is really important. On Sunday, I'm going to put zeros in for every assignment in the whole course, even for all the final week assignment. The reason I do that is then there will be no surprise, and you'll know exactly what your grade percentage is for every time that I grade something or you do an exam or something like that. So your grade will be lower on Monday than it has been. That's because a bunch of zeros are there. But as you turn in work, the zeros go away, right? Okay, for this last week has 4 photo assignments. So don't delay. What I would suggest is that Monday you do a photo assignment, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday you do a photo assignment each day. And this recording is going to focus on the Black and White Photography Unit because it has a write-up. Then I'll do a separate recording for the Using Your Photographs, which is the last unit of the course. So we're getting into the Black and White Photography Unit. You'll see you have Black and White Assignment 1, Black and White Assignment 2, but actually they're numbers 7 and 8, and you have a unit exam. So 3 things to do for the first half of the week. In the second half of the week, you have 3 things to do. So let's jump right into the Black and White Photography Unit. So here we are, Black and White Photography. And we'll want to go to the write-up first, don't we, as always. So if you look at the write-up, why was there not a lot of color film used in the early days of photography? When color came in, why didn't they use it very much? In the 50s, as color became more popular, what are 2 reasons many people stayed with black and white? So that's in the introductory unit. So if we take a look at here, black and white has always been a part of photography. Before 1942, it was almost all black and white. There was some early color film, but these are expensive and limited to professional use. So that's the first answer to that Class Connect write-up question. Color was expensive and limited to professional use. But then even in the 50s, many photographers preferred black and white. Some thought that one reason was they thought they had more control. Some thought that black and white was more artistic. So those are really the 2 reasons that a lot of people stayed with black and white in the 50s, even though color was more readily available. Black and white use decreased a bit, but then some fine art photographers started using black and white more. Of course, newspapers and magazines still print black and white, but they shoot in digital color and then they revise it to be black and white. So there has been a growing trend in black and white photography is a little bit more artistic. Okay, section 2. And let's look at the write-up questions. So we answered those 2 already, didn't we? So some of the write-up questions. What does it mean that black and white photography is all about pure light? What did early street photography document? Why do street photographers keep their equipment to a minimum? In black and white photography, what colors do you find between pure black and pure white? What are the 2 ways you can produce black and white photographs? What role do shadows play in black and white? What is the best way to process an image from color to black and white? So hopefully I'll remember all those things and mention them all. So section 2. So section 2, all about black and white photography. So, with all the controls of digital darkroom, there's kind of an evolution for black and white. And the thing about black and white, it's not just about black and white, it's about all of the gray tones in between, the gray colors that are a combination of black and white. That's what it's all about. And black and white, is about pure light. Black and white photography is all about pure light. And the thing is, you don't have to worry about the colors and the different color casts. So in black and white photography, you just worry about how the light affects your image. And it really lets you concentrate on the subject and only the subject when you're using black and white. You don't worry about the colors. Let's go to the write-up and see what question. What does it mean that black and white is all about pure light? Well, I just talked about that, didn't I? Okay, now we're going to go look at street photography. And these pictures, or these questions, I mean, 4 and 5, these are from a little video in the lesson on street photography. So in this whole section, we're going to look at black and white imaging, how's it different from color, look at various software tools for conversion, and different processing methods. So here's a little bit of tutorial about black and white street photography. So that's what early street photography was, to document the lives of average people in the cities. That was early street photography. So you can see some of the sample of a black and white picture. So street photography is about the people and locations. It's all street photography. So you can see how, this could be black and white even though they show it in color. A lot of people do landscape work in black and white. So always focusing on the environment of the area and the people. That's what black and white is all about. So there are lots of things that can be done with black and white images. So on that one, it talked about, they carry the equipment as a minimum so they can concentrate on their subject. So that's why street photographers have a minimum amount of equipment. So if we go back to the write-up, we answered both of these questions. What did early street photography document, and why do street photographers keep their equipment to a minimum? We just answered both of those. So now we need to find out, what color do you find between pure black and pure white? What are the two ways to produce black and white photographs? What role do shadows play? What is the best way to process an image? So we're moving along here. Now if we look at this, these are all of your color tone. Well, not all of them. I mean, there are a lot more colors than that. But those are the way color tones are pictured, all these different shades of colors. But then you have black and white. And you can see on this that we have solid black and then all the way down to pure white. So the darkest tone is pure black, lightest tone is pure white. And you can even see it up in here. There's pure black and then pure white over here. Now between pure black and pure white is a whole range of grays. So these are what are called gray tones down in here. And that's what is used in black and white photography, gray tones. And whenever you take a picture in black and white of a color scene, then the camera converts it into gray tones for you. So the whole range of gray is between the pure black and the pure white. He's talking more about creating black and white images. So there are different ways that cameras can do it. One way is that some cameras have a black and white mode that you can set, and then the camera will go ahead and take black and white shots for you. So that's one way that it can be done. Another way it can be done is through your photo processing software. So you can open up your pictures in your program like GIMP or something like that, then you can convert it to black and white. So those are the two ways that black and white images can be converted, can be done, through the black and white mode in the camera or through the photo processing software. Now when you start thinking about black and white, what you want to do is you really have to evaluate the scene. So black and white photographers, they really pay more attention to what's going on in the scene than they do with the colors and things like that. So you always have to be aware of the shapes and the textures in the scene and the relationship of the different tones. And in black and white, the shadows play a huge effect. The shadows give an image depth. And you also want to make sure in black and white that you photograph at an angle rather than straight ahead or straight side lighting or straight front lighting. You want to take a picture at an angle. So keep that in mind as you take your pictures for black and white photography. The subjects in black and white, of course, there are very few subjects that don't do well in black and white. Now, a clear sky, a sunset with all the colors, that won't be very good in black and white, will it? But lots of different scenes can be really nice in black and white. Here's a self-check activity, so do that little drag and drop activity. Processing black and white. There are a couple of different ways that you can do it using GIMP software. One thing is to desaturate. So this is where you would use the hue and saturation tool in GIMP and desaturate down to 0. And then that sets it just on the gray tone. Now the best way, or the better way to process in black and white, is to apply grayscale mode. So you would open up your picture, and then you'd go to grayscale and you convert it to grayscale. That's the best way to get it converted to black and white, is by using the grayscale. Contrast is important, so you want to make sure that when you set your contrast, that you have really sharp differences between the dark and the light images. When you save in black and white, you want to make sure that you save it. Now GIMP may not let you save as JPEG, but if you just save it as a GIMP image, that'll be fine. I can open those. So I don't think you'll be able to save as a JPEG. But make sure you always choose 100% quality when you go through your saving. Here's a little goat race activity to see what you know about black and white. And of course you have the unit exam right over here, and I'll get the unit exam preview posted for you. But let's go back to the write-up. Make sure I answered all these questions. The 2 ways you can produce black and white photographs, we looked at that. What role do shadows play? Talked about that. The best way to process an image from black and white? Talked about that too. So we answered all the Class Connect write-up questions. So once you do that, then you have 2 assignments, and I'll record a different recording for these assignments as I have usually. But one is going to be photographs of your street, black and white, and the other is going to be photographs of parts of a whole. You're going to pick one part of an object, like a statue at a park, stuff on a playground, and you're going to look at different features of that one item and shoot black and white images. But I'll make a recording for this. So that's all I have for you. This part was pretty quick because all we did was cover the Tuesday part, which is the black and white photography with the Class Connect write-up question. I'll have a second recording that will cover the Thursday, Friday work, which is this. So that's it for you. Thanks for watching. I look forward to your fantastic black and white pictures coming in. Bye, everyone.